So good evening and welcome back to Ego Classes.
Good evening,
And
sir.
yeah, very good evening, sir. Ajit sir and Niru sir, Piyush sir. So a lot of people are with me right now. So let me start it today that we are going to, discuss how exactly you can be very fluent in English. Got it? So before we can go ahead with our communication training or demonstration, let me ask a very basic question to you all. Ajit sir, Niroj sir and Piyush sir. So whatever may be the language you are comfortable with, upon ODI koi or in any other language or in English also. So what is the problem you are facing whenever trying to speak English? I know you guys are good at written communication, but whenever it comes to spoken English, you guys are not good at all. Sometimes, you people face a lot of problems. So could you please, tell me or list out the problems that we are facing? कौन सर anybody can Ajit sir you can start with
हाँ जी सर, मेरे तो दिक्कत होता है जब ऑफिस में कुछ किसी से गेस्ट से बात करना है या कुछ सीनियर से
absolutely
बात करना है।
no, I understand sir, this is the things you require. My question is that sir, what is the problem you are facing? Okay, fine, like you need to talk to your senior, a lot of things happen କିନ୍ତୁ ଆପଣ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି you want to have a conversation, you want to block in conversation with your senior, but ଆପଣ ନିଶ୍ଚୟ କିଛି problem face କରୁଛନ୍ତି ସେ problem ଟା କଣ sir, what is the problem you are facing?
तो खास तो होती नॉर्मल
Nervousness, okay fine sir, what other things you face, any other problem? Okay, got it sir. Neeraj sir, could you please tell me something about like what's the problem you are facing? ଯାହା ଫଳରେ କି ଆପଣ feel କରୁଛନ୍ତି like no, I need to improve my communication skill. Neeraj sir, can you hear me? Neeraj sir ମତେ ଶୁଣି ପାରୁଛନ୍ତି? I believe some problems. Okay, fine. Neeraj sir, ଆପଣ ମତେ ଶୁଣି ପାରୁଛନ୍ତି? Please, please unmute and speak. Uh, if you really hear me, I mean, you can tell what exact problem you're facing. Let me tell you. Basically, Ajit sir and Neeraj sir, I believe you are from Oriya Medium School, right? Upon Oriya Medium School, like, your schooling happens like that? Yes or no, sir? Ajit sir?
ये सर बढ़िया बढ़िया
Okay. So basically what happens, we have three different issues that why you guys are facing this kind of problem. You are not able to speak English because this is the problem. I'm going to share a screen before you. Please go through that. Okay. So this is the problem you guys are facing most of the time. And what is the problem? Let me tell you. This is quite interesting also. This is the problems I am facing. We call it MTS. One is called mindset. The second one is called tool set. And the third one is called skill set. There are three different problems why you guys are not able to speak. Upon English koi parna, this is the problem. Because you have a mindset issue. I'm going to discuss what do you mean by mindset. Got it? And there is something called tool set issue. Upon you feel like that. Like grammar nahi, perhaps I don't know grammar. Our translation janini. But ସେଥିପାଇଁ ମୁଁ English କହିପାରୁନି. Both are wrong tools. ନା grammar ଆପଣ ଜାଣିବାର ଅଛି ନା ଆପଣ translation କରିବାର ଅଛି. Without grammar and translation, you can speak English fluently, confidently, something called naturally. Okay. And there is something called skill set. You need to upskill and you need to reskill yourself. So these are the three different parameters that you are supposed to work before you can speak English. ଆପଣ English କହିବା ପାଇଁ ଏଇ ତିନିଟା ଜିନିଷ ଉପରେ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ workout କରିବାର ଅଛି. The first ହେଲା mindset issue. You might be thinking, sir, what is called mindset? ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ, ଆପଣ English କହିବା ଆପଣ ଓଡ଼ିଆ କହୁଥିଲେ, like everybody, whether it is Ajit sir, it is Neeraj sir, whoever is with me right now, ଆପଣ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଓଡ଼ିଆ କହୁଛନ୍ତି, basically it comes very natural to you because it's your mother tongue. So ଆପଣ କଣ କରନ୍ତି, you are trying to use the same fundamentals or you are trying to use the same process whenever you want to speak English, which is absolutely wrong. ଆପଣ ଓଡ଼ିଆ ଯେମିତି କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଆପଣ ସେଇ ଢଙ୍ଗରେ ଇଂଲିଶ କହିବା ପାଇଁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରୁଛନ୍ତି. And that's the reason why not only you, that close to 95% people are not able to communicate in English because of the fact that they always try to translate. For example, ଆପଣ ଗୋଟେ ଭାବିଲେ ମୁଁ କାଲି ଉପସ୍ଥିତ ନଥିଲି, ଆପଣ ଭାବୁଛନ୍ତି ମୁଁ ମାନେ ଆଇ, ଉପସ୍ଥିତ ମାନେ ପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟ, ନଥିଲି ମାନେ ନଟ୍. the past tense, that I was not present. Like that, you have to analyze a lot of things in from Oriya, then you have to try to find it. It's a completely wrong set. So that is something called mindset. Upon bujiva dakar, like no, culture has to play a very important role whenever you are trying to something called master the communication skill. And basically mindset, why it is required, upon mane, whether it is Ajit sir, it is Neeraj sir, whoever before me right now, upon janichanti, you have been learning this particular language for more than 15 years, maybe 12 years, maybe 10 years. In spite of learning this beautiful language for more than 10 years, 15 years, still you are not able to speak on time. What is the problem? या प्रोब्लेम होची तो आपण सेटाको 10 वर्ष 15 वर्ष पढला पर मध्य यू आर नॉट एबल टू स्पीक, यू नो व्हाई? द रीजन इज दैट आपण भावुचंती रिटन इंग्लिश जा स्पोकन इंग्लिश है, व्हिच इज एब्सोल्युटली नॉट. रिटन इंग्लिश इज जस्ट लाइक ए सब्जेक्ट. आपण आजि पर्यंत जहा पढी के आस्थिले, सपोज देयर वाज समथिंग कॉल्ड कॉम्प्रिहेंशन, सो यू हैव टू गेट इट बाय हार्ट, you have to memorize a lot, you have to write it in your answer sheet. Take the example, ଆପଣ ଗୋଟେ essay ଥିଲା ପଢୁଥିଲା, letter ପଢୁଥିଲା, so you are trying to get it by heart. ଆପଣ ଘୋଷିକି ହଉ ବା ଯେମିତି ହଉ ଆପଣ ତାକୁ ଲେଖି ପକଉଥିଲେ, and that was the standard because you are completely mark oriented. ଆପଣଙ୍କ particular system, your school system, your parental pressure or your entire things, ଆପଣ peer pressure ହଉ, ତ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ଉପରେ ପ୍ରେସର ଥିଲା ଭଲ ମାର୍କ ରଖିବା ପାଇଁ, ହ୍ୱାଟ ଏଭର ମେ ବି ଦ ଥିଙ୍ଗସ୍, you have to secure mark. ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ମାର୍କ ପାଇବାର ନାହିଁ, you have to use this particular tool, spoken English, to communicate effectively. Apanku suppose like Ajit sir, you are working with a company right now. So
जी
whenever
सर.
you are trying to work with a company, you have a lot of seniors are there, a lot of juniors are there, you have a head office, you have a HR personnel. So you need to communicate effectively. ଆଉ ସେଠି ଲେଖିବା ଅପେକ୍ଷା ମଧ୍ୟ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ କମ୍ୟୁନିକେସନ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ରହୁଛି, ସେଠି କିଛି ଘୋଷିବାର ନାହିଁ. ହ୍ୱାଟ ଏଭର ୟୁ ଫିଲ୍ ୟୁ ହାଭ୍ ଟୁ କମ୍ୟୁନିକେଟ instantly. ଏମିତି କିଛି ନାହିଁ ଆପଣ ଭାବିବେ ତାପରେ କହିବେ. But whenever you are trying to write something, ଆପଣ ଭାବୁଥିଲେ ଲେଖୁଥିଲେ, you have the luxury, you are trying to communicate with yourself. କିନ୍ତୁ ଆପଣ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ କହୁଛନ୍ତି and there is another person, suppose ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ସହିତ କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା ହଉଛି and you are on the other side of the globe. So what exactly I have to do? Then I have to call you up. So ଆପଣ ନିଶ୍ଚୟ ମୁଁ answer ଦେବେ, or it is in English or it is in Oriya, whatever it may be. So obviously you need to answer that. So ଆପଣ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେଇ ସମୟରେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି, obviously nervousness comes into existence. ଆପଣ ଟିକେ nervous feel କରୁଛନ୍ତି and ଆପଣ feel କରୁଛନ୍ତି sir my mind goes blank, sir ମୋ mind ରେ କିଛି ଆସିପାରୁନି, ଗୋଟେ particular word ଟା ମୁଁ sir କାଇଁ ପାଉନି, what is the problem? So sometimes you are okay, ଆପଣ କିଛି ସମୟ କହି ଚାଲିଥିବେ ଆଉ କିଛି ସମୟ ପରେ ଆପଣ mind ଟା ପୁରା blank ହେଇଯାଉଛି. Sometimes you are not getting the right kind of words, and sometimes nervousness, not getting the right kind of words, a lot of things happens. Why this happens today we are going to discuss. The first thing is called mindset. So mindset up ame kama kariba, like you I need to work with your mindset, and it's a very it's very easy, and it's not a difficult task. It's a very cakewalk, it's not rocket science. The second thing called tool set. ଆପଣ ଭାବୁଛନ୍ତି ଇଂଲିଶ କହିବା ମାନେ ମୁଁ ଟ୍ରାନ୍ସଲେସନ କରିକି ଇଂଲିଶ କହିବି, which is absolutely not. Translation is the bogus process. Nobody has ever been that much of fluent using translation as a tool. ତାମାନେ ଆପଣ ଟ୍ରାନ୍ସଲେସନ ବ୍ୟବହାର କରିକି ଇଂଲିଶ ଟାକୁ ଆପଣ ମାନେ fluently, confidently, naturally କହିପାରିବେ ନାହିଁ. You might be thinking, sir, how is it possible? ମୁଁ ତ translation use କରିବିନି, ତାହେଲେ ଇଂଲିଶ କେମିତି କହିବି? There is a very beautiful method is there, that is called SQL technique. I'm going to teach you. And the third thing is called a skill set. ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଦିଟା ୱେରେ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ like you have learned something, ଆପଣ କିଛି learn କରିଛନ୍ତି right now, you have learned something. Let me give an example, sir. Suppose Ajit sir, you are my best friend. So ଆପଣ କହିଲେ, suppose ଆପଣ କହିବେ ଯେ like sir, ମୁଁ କାଲି ରାତିରେ ଗୋଟେ ସ୍ୱପ୍ନ ଦେଖିଲି. I saw a dream, I saw a dream last night. If you say like that, suppose you are my best friend, you say Prasanna, do you know that I saw a dream last night? अच्छा ये sentence टा आपनको ठीक लागुଛି ना ସେଟା ଭୁଲ, like whether it the sentence correct or wrong? Ajit sir,
I think wrong.
what is the correct one, sir? If you say I saw a dream last night, so you say it's wrong. So where is wrong and why it is wrong? So what you are going to say? ଆପଣ ଏଇ situation ରେ କଣ କହିଥାନ୍ତି? Suppose I'm a best friend and I want to. I'm not trying to test your caliberty. I'm not testing your knowledge. ମୁଁ ଜାଣିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛି actually where exactly you stand so that I can guide you further. Got it? So ଯଦି ଆପଣ ଏମିତି ଗୋଟେ କହିଲେ sentence ଆପଣ କେମିତି କହିବା କଥା? How exactly you are trying to say the particular thing to me? ଆପଣ କହିବେ ଯେ ମୁଁ କାଲି ରାତିରେ ଗୋଟେ ଭୟଙ୍କର ସ୍ୱପ୍ନ ଦେଖିଲି। ତ ଆପଣ କେମିତି ଇଂଲିଶରେ କହିବେ ସାର୍? How exactly? ଆପଣ କୁହନ୍ତୁ ଆରାମସେ କୁହନ୍ତୁ କିଛି ଅଛି yes sir. Yeah please. No
I
doubt
see.
this. हाँ
I
yes
said.
କୁହନ୍ତୁ। हाँ I
I said dream last night.
I
I
I
said
see.
dangerous.
I
हाँ
I see.
जी.
Okay.
I
So
see.
this
I
is
see
no.
danger
This is
dream last night.
okay. So this is called I see a dream. That is completely wrong, sir. I had a dream, and this is called correct. So this is something called you have to reskill yourself. This is called reskill. ताମାନେ ଆପଣ ଯାହା ଜାଣିଥିଲେ ଆପଣ ଆଉ ଥରେ ତାକୁ ଜାଣିବେ. That is called reskill. And
ठीक है.
upskill means you have to use a lot of collocation, binomials. I'm going to teach you. So this is all about called reskilling and upskilling. Got it? Let me bring that screen once more. So that is something called ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ upskill and reskill କରିବାର ଅଛି. And we call it mindset issue ରହିଲା ଯଦି ଆପଣ ଇଂଲିଶ କହିପାରୁନାହାନ୍ତି ଗୋଟେ ଟୁଲ ସେଟ୍ ଆପଣ ରଙ୍ଗ ଟୁଲ ୟୁଜ କରୁଛନ୍ତି and the third thing is called something called reskill କରିବା upskill କରିବା. So let me tell you for mindset you have to rewire your brain. ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ମାଇଣ୍ଡ ର ଯୋଉ pattern ଟା ଅଛି ଆପଣ ଏବେ ଯୋଉ ୱେରେ ଆପଣ ଚିନ୍ତା କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଇଂଲିଶ କହିବା ପାଇଁ ଆପଣ ତ ଭାବିଲେ କହିବେ whether it is ଓଡିଆ ଇଂଲିଶ ହିନ୍ଦୀ ପ୍ରଥମେ ଆପଣ ଭାବନ୍ତି ତାପରେ ଆପଣ ଇଂଲିଶ କହିବେ but let me
Yes.
tell you sir ଏ ଯୋଉ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ ୱେରେ ଆପଣ ଭାବୁଛନ୍ତି ସେଇ pattern ଟାକୁ ଆପଣ ଚେଞ୍ଜ କରିବେ ତ ଆପଣ କହିବେ how it is possible let me tell you sir so this is something called the editing process ଆପଣ ଏବେ ଏମିତି କରୁଛନ୍ତି you are thinking in ଓଡିଆ you are trying to speak in english ସେଟା ସମସ୍ତେ ଭାବୁଛନ୍ତି ଆପଣ ଏବେ ବି କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଆପଣ ଓଡିଆରେ ଭାବୁଛନ୍ତି and ଆପଣ
ଆଜ୍ଞା.
ଇଂଲିଶରେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି and you are trying to translate that's all that's the only process ତ ଆପଣ କଣ କରୁଛନ୍ତି what exactly you do ଏ ଯୋଉ process କୁ ଆପଣ ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି ଯେ you think a sentence in ଓଡିଆ ଆପଣ ଗୋଟେ sentence କୁ ଓଡିଆରେ ଭାବିଲେ and you try to find the ଓଡିଆ equivalent english word ତ ଆପଣ ଗୋଟେ ଓଡିଆ equivalent english word ବାହାର କରିଦେଲେ ତାପରେ you are trying to make a sentence using grammar or tense ଆପଣ ଯୋଉ grammar or tense ଯାହା ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି ଆଜି ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ so using that you want to speak this process ଆପଣ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ସେଇଟାକୁ ମୁଁ ୟୁଜ କରିକି ଇଂଲିଶ କହୁଛି and there are lot of side effects ଏଇଟା ହଉଛି ସାଇଡ ଇଫେକ୍ଟ ଅଛି ଏଥିରେ କଣ ସାଇଡ ଇଫେକ୍ଟ ଅଛି impossible to attain ଆପଣ କଣ ପାଇଁ ଇଂଲିଶ କୋଚିଂ ନଉଛନ୍ତି because of the fact that ଆପଣ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି ମୁଁ କେମିତି ଇଂଲିଶ fluently କହିବି
Yes, sir.
because a lot of your colleagues are there who want to speak English fluently ସେମାନେ ଭଲ ଇଂଲିଶ କହୁଛନ୍ତି so by looking at their proficiency level ଆପଣ ବି ନିଜକୁ ନିଜେ ଟିକେ like inferior feel କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ସେମାନେ ତ ଇଂଲିଶ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ମୁଁ କାହିଁ କହିବିନି and moreover ଆପଣ ଯୋଉ ପ୍ରୋସେସ ୟୁଜ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ସେ ପ୍ରୋସେସରେ ଆପଣ ଯଦି ଯିବେ ନା I'm sure you cannot attend fluently ମାନେ old ପ୍ରୋସେସରେ ଯୋଉ ଟ୍ରାନ୍ସଲେସନ ପ୍ରୋସେସରେ ଯଦି ଆପଣ ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି obviously we cannot speak fluently the first thing second thing is that you will not get the right vocabulary ଆପଣ the right vocabulary ପାଉନଥିଲେ because it doesn't obey collocation ଆମ ଓଡିଆ ପିଲା ମିଡିୟମ ପିଲାମାନେ ଗୋଟେ collocation ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ଅଛି ବୋଲି ସେମାନେ ଜାଣିନାହାନ୍ତି and that's why
Yeah.
most of the time we are trying to speak English we are looking for words for translation and the third process is called this process is an obstacle while trying to speak English naturally ଆପଣ ନ୍ୟାଚୁରାଲ ପ୍ରୋସେସରେ ଇଂଲିଶ କହିବା ପାଇଁ ଯୋଉଟା ନ୍ୟାଚୁରାଲ କୋଉମାନେ କହିବେ ମୁଁ କହିବି ଯେ ଅଜିତ ସାର୍ ଆପଣ ଆପଣ ଇଂଲିଶ ଓଡିଆ କହିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହିଁବେ ତାହେଲେ ନ୍ୟାଚୁରାଲ ଓଡିଆ କୋଉଟା ନା ଓଡିଶାର ଲୋକମାନେ କୁହନ୍ତି ତ ବେସିକାଲି
जी.
ଦ ପିପଲ ଅଫ ଆମେରିକା ଆଣ୍ଡ ଇଂଲଣ୍ଡ ସେମାନେ ନ୍ୟାଚୁରାଲ ଇଂଲିଶ କୁହନ୍ତି ତ ତାଙ୍କ ଭଳି
जी.
କହିବା ପାଇଁ ହେଲେ ଟ୍ରାନ୍ସଲେସନ ପ୍ରୋସେସଟା ହଉଛି କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟଲି ବ୍ୟାଡ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଇଟ୍ସ ଏ ବୋଗସ୍ ପ୍ରୋସେସ ଇଟ ଇଜ କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟଲି ଫିଟ୍ ଟୁ ଦ ଡଷ୍ଟବିନ୍ ଆଜି ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ କେହି ଟ୍ରାନ୍ସଲେସନ କରି ଭଲ ଇଂଲିଶ କହିନାହାନ୍ତି so that is something called we have to completely take it out from our mindset ସେଟା ଆମେ ୟୁଜ କରିବା ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ ଆଉ ଯୋଉ ପ୍ରୋସେସରେ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ପଢା ହେଇଛି that's the wrong process got it so what exactly you have to do ଆପଣ କହିବେ ଯେ ଓକେ ସାର୍ ତାହେଲେ ଆର କଣ ତାର ସଲ୍ୟୁସନ କଣ ଏଇଟା ତ ଆପଣ ବୁଝିଲେ ସାର୍ ଇଏ ମୋ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ହଉଛି I am nervous I'm not getting the right vocabulary, my mind goes blank sometimes. I'm not confident, all the things I'm underconfident ହେଇଯାଉଛି. So the solution କଣ? The solution is like that. ଏଇଟା ହଉଛି ଆମ solution. Use SBL technique to remember and use vocabulary in a sentence. There is something called SBL. SBL stands for situation based learning. प्रत्येक situation, whatever may be the situation, प्रत्येक situation ପାଇଁ, for each and every situation ପାଇଁ ଆମର କଣ ଅଛି ନା ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ଗୋଟେ vocabulary ଅଛି, ଗୋଟେ sentence structure ଅଛି. That if you know that, you can easily pick it up. Instead of learning individual words, learn phrases. ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ କିଛି phrases ପଢେଇବି. Just like that, you can speak just like a native speaker. Okay. And learn 5T to speak English naturally. Upon sir, what is 5T? 5T is something called here. There is something called 5T. That is called how to speak natural English. One is something called collocation. The second one is called phrases. The third one is called phrasal verb. The fourth one is called binomial. And the fifth one is called idioms. এই ପାଞ୍ଚଟା ଜିନିଷ ଆପଣ ପଢିଲେ ଆପଣ ପୁରା fluent English କହିବେ. ଆଉ ଆଗରୁ ଆପଣ ଯୋଉ ପଢୁଥିଲେ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ old tense style ଥିଲା ସାର୍, ଯେମିତି ମୁଁ ଯାଏ, I go, ମୁଁ ଯାଉଛି, I am going, ମୁଁ ଯାଇଅଛି, ମୁଁ ଯାଉଅଛି, these are completely rubbish. ଆଉ ସେଇଭଳିଆ process ରେ ଆପଣ English କହିପାରିବେ ନାହିଁ. That is pretty sure. So that's why you have to follow this 5T process to speak English naturally. ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ natural English କହିବାର ଅଛି. ଆପଣ fluent English ମାନେ ଆପଣ ଯଦି ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି ମୁଁ fluent English କହିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛି, ତାହେଲେ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ natural English କହିବାର ଅଛି. Okay. And one more thing is I would like to inform you to everybody. So this is the flow chart. So ଆପଣ କହିବେ sir ଆପଣ କେମିତି English କହିବା? This is something called, the first one is called the structure. The second one is called the collocation. The third one is called the vocabulary, and the fourth one is called the practice. The structure कौन, how to make a sentence. अपन गोटे sentence केमती बनेबे, that's more important. जदि अपन गोटे sentence बनै परुनांती तो English केमती कहबे, it's not possible. The second one is called collocation. Collocation कौन, गोटे अमेरिका और ब्रिटेन लोक गोटे पर्टिकुलर सिचुएशन को केमती इंग्लिश रे कहउची. मु जेमती कहउची, ओडिया लोक माने कहबे आई सॉ ए ड्रीम, किंतु अमेरिका ब्रिटेन लोक माने कहबे आई हैड ए ड्रीम. तो ऑब्वियसली अपन देखले दी प्रकार लोक अछंती, बट से माने केमती कहउची, आमे केमती कहउचे, आमे पूरा डायरेक्ट ओडिया रु डायरेक्ट ट्रांसलेशन करछे, व्हिच इज एब्सोल्युटली रॉन्ग. आमे कहउचे वेडिंग एनिवर्सरी कहउनी, आमे कहउचे हैप्पी मैरिज एनिवर्सरी. आमे कहउचे मैरिज माने विवाहर, वेडिंग माने लाइक नो समथिंग कॉल्ड एनिवर्सरी माने होची like Vastika. So obviously I'm going to marriage anniversary, but there is nothing called marriage anniversary in English. It is called wedding anniversary. Upon question, sir, myself Ajit. Wrong. It is called I am Ajit. Upon question, today is Sunday. Wrong. It is Sunday today. So ଆମେ ଯାହା ବି କହୁଛନ୍ତି ସବୁଟା wrong. But ଆପଣ କହିବେ sir ଯଦି ସବୁଟା wrong, why people are using that? They don't know. They don't know. ସେ ଭାବୁଛନ୍ତି wrong ଟା ଠିକ ବୋଲି. And that's why whenever you are trying to compete with somebody in the outside Odisha, you become a failure. Odisha रे अपन ठीक, because अपन ओडिया मु ओडिया, अपन जोटा कहउछन मु कहि दउची, अपन फील लागले मु इंग्लिश कहउची. But let me tell you sir, these are all wrong English.
Yes.
What exactly you have to learn? How you have to learn the way people are, anybody anywhere in the world across the board, anybody can understand. मुंबई रे गोटे लोक बुझी परियो, कालकाटा गोटे लोक बुझी परियो, साउथ इंडियन गोटे बुझी परियो, नॉर्थ इंडियन, everybody can speak English. But the problem is that we don't know how to speak it up. And vocabulary, आपण जानछंती, without vocabulary you cannot speak English, and that's pretty important. जे कोनसी भाषा कहिबा पे हेले vocabulary निहाती दरकार. आपण हिंदी कोंतु, हिंदी रो vocabulary न चला आपण केमती. Whenever I say vocabulary, it is all about the word power. जेते आपण अधिक word जानिबे, जेते शब्द जानिबे, तेते आपण इंग्लिश जानिबे. So but the problem is that ଆମର limited, आमे कहउची आमे चा पीबा, पीबा माने drink, that's wrong. पानी पीबा होची drink. चा पीबा को आमे कहबे I am sipping tea, किंतु आमे कहउची आमे drinking tea. That's the wrong thing. So obviously हमको एठे कोन करिवार अछि जे most of the time we don't know the right vocabulary for a right situation. काहे कि ना हम टीचर्स हमको पढैछंती माने पीबा माने लाइक आमे कहउची सोइबा, सोइबा माने sleep. It's wrong. आपण को सर wrong? Yes. Sleep सोइबा माने at night, राति रे सोइबा sleep. दिन रे सोइले टेक ए नैप फॉर एग्जांपल अजी सर आपन केतले भी अन ऑकवर्ड फील होथु आपन टिके क्लांत फील करथिबे व्हेन वी आर टायर्ड आपन दिन रे किछ समय सोई जानती so you cannot say
ଆଜ୍ଞା
I'm sleeping you can say I'm taking a nap I'm taking a nap that guy is taking a nap तो दिन रे सोइबा को taking a nap राति रे सोइबा को sleep किंतु हमहु सिखाइति कोन sleep माने सोइबा that's the problem ଆଉ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଆମେ ଇଂଲିଶ ଟାକୁ ଇଂଲିଶ ୱେରେ କହିପାରୁନା ଆମକୁ କହୁଛି ପିଇବା ମାନେ ଡ୍ରିଙ୍କ that's the problem ଯୋଉ ଜିନିଷଟାକୁ ଯୋଉ ତରଳ ଜିନିଷଟାକୁ ଆପଣ କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟୁଅସଲି ପିଅନ୍ତି that is called drink for example I am drinking water କାରଣ water ଟା ଆପଣ କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟୁଅସଲି ପିଅନ୍ତି ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ସାର୍ ଗରମ ପାଣି ପିଇବା ଯଦି ତାହେଲେ I'm sipping କାହିଁକି ନା ଗରମ ପାଣି ଯାହା ଗରମ ଚା ସେୟା ଗରମ ସୁପ୍ ସେୟା ତ ଆପଣ ଟିକେ ନିଅନ୍ତି ରଖି ଦିଅନ୍ତି ଆପଣ ଯେମିତି ପାଣି ପିଅନ୍ତି ମାନେ ଯୋଉଟା ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ନର୍ମାଲ ୱାଟର ସେମିତି ପିଇ ପାରିବେନି ତ you can say I'm sipping କିନ୍ତୁ ତୁମକୁ sipping word ଶିଖାଏନି ଆମେ କହୁଛେ କଟ୍ ମାନେ କାଟିବା wrong कट माने काटिबा केतळे यू आर ट्राइंग टू कट समथिंग देखंतु फॉर एग्जांपल मु कहबी जे आई कैन गिव एन एग्जांपल सपोज आपण गोटे गछटे अछि आपण काटुछन्ती यू कैन से आई एम कटिंग द ट्री आपण को मामा मनकर की सिस्टर की आपण घरे की वेजिटेबल काटुछन्ती दैट इज कॉल्ड चॉपिंग वेजिटेबल जदि गोटे डॉक्टर कोन करूची ना गोटे हातटे काटी दोछि धरंतु कार कैंसर पेशेंट हाथ कटा होची दैट इज कॉल्ड एम्प्यूट तो काटिया माने नुहे काटिया माने कट नुहे as per the situation you can use କିନ୍ତୁ ଆମକୁ ସେଇଟା କୁହା ଯାଉନି ଆମକୁ ପିଲାଦିନୁ କୁହାଉଛି ଯେ କାଟିବା ମାନେ କଟ and that's a problem ତ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଆମ ପାଖରେ ବହୁତ ଗୁଡେ vocabulary ନାହିଁ and the fourth one is called practice what do you mean by practice practice ମାନେ ଆପଣ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି anything and everything that you do you need a practice suppose Ajit sir you are good at driving ତ ଆପଣ ଯୋଉ ଡ୍ରାଇଭିଂ ଆଜି କରୁଛନ୍ତି it requires a lot of effort ଆପଣ ଆଗରୁ ବହୁତ ସମୟ ମାନେ ଡ୍ରାଇଭିଂ କରିଛନ୍ତି ବୋଲି ଡ୍ରାଇଭିଂ କରିପାରୁ so that is something called driving is a skill so any skill that you have to develop by doing it constantly for many a times in the past or you have to constantly develop it ଆପଣ ଇଂଲିଶ କହିବେ you need a practice କିନ୍ତୁ very sadly ଆମ environment ଆମକୁ କେହି support କରୁନାହାନ୍ତି ଆପଣ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି ଆପଣ ଯୋଉ environment ରହୁଛନ୍ତି ସେ environment ରେ everybody speaking ଓଡିଆ ତ ଆପଣ ଇଂଲିଶ ଶିଖିବେ କେମିତି ବା ହିନ୍ଦୀ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ତ ଆପଣ ଇଂଲିଶ ଶିଖିବେ କେମିତି that's a problem in this particular thing so these are the four different things we are going to teach you and it requires only 3 moments and you can be super in a spoken English from zero to hero that you can I want to make it work so this is all about the class so if you have any further question you can ask me Ajit sir you can ask any question and also Niro sir if you want to ask any question you can ask me କିଛି question ଅଛି ଆପଣ ମତେ ପଚାରନ୍ତୁ
हाँ
ask me